Hello. So this video is going to be about, as a young man or a young woman, probably applies to yourself as well, you have to experience living on your own. As in, maybe like with flatmates or something is a similar thing, but you have to experience not living with your parents. I know a lot of people get this experience by going to university, but I feel like myself, I did go to university, and this is where I got the experience from. It would have been about 2 years ago. Is that correct? No, 3 years ago. 2019, when I went to uni in that September, and I lived on my own until the COVID lockdown. Then I moved back out for my second year, and then I moved back in when I dropped out. So I think the experience of living on your own is completely different to living with your parents. And at first it seems like a massive weight off your shoulders, because you're like, oh, now I've got my freedom, I don't have to tell anybody where I'm going or what time I'm going to be back, or all of this shit that you always moan about when you stay with your parents. But what you don't realise then is actually you don't really have as much free time. Like, you will be spending most of your time either cooking, cleaning, or sleeping, like in your house. Especially if you've got quite a full-on schedule. I've just kind of reminiscing over my times living on my own just now, because I've just moved out, and I just started a new job in the city, and in Edinburgh to be specific. And I don't know, it's just it almost brings a smile back to me, in terms of, because when I was doing this when I was in uni, I had a similar thing where I was doing rugby and uni at the same time. Now I'm doing rugby and this new job that I've got, and it's very what's the word? It's very demanding of you. And I remember those days I was a lot more anxious. And don't get me wrong, I still get anxious trying to figure out what bus I'm supposed to get on so I'm not late for work and so I can get in time. But it's so much to a lesser degree now, and that's where I feel like my self-improvement and all this mindfulness and all this stuff is actually coming to its use now, because I feel like I'm more calm now. I can still feel a bit of anxiety when I'm doing these things. I'm not used to it. It's a new experience, so I'm not saying, oh, why am I anxious? I've done this before, because I know this is a new experience, living in this city, doing the job that I'm doing, and getting the bus to this work, and then having to come back, drive to training, do my training, and all this. It's all new. But that's why you need to do it. That's what this is when they talk about get out your comfort zone, this is the comfort zone that you need to get out, is living at home where you get everything done for you. You get your laundry done, the house is clean, the food's cooked at least for one meal or something a day, you get a hot meal. And getting out of that comfort zone does wonders for you. It makes me feel, it gives me that weight of responsibility, which I really enjoy. I don't feel like I'm kind of leeching off my parents, although in a sense I am kind of, because I've brought some of the food that was at home, so I used the food that was at home to cook and get on my way back. But now it's more of a, I'm actually doing things properly. I feel like I'm not just coming home and maybe if I decide to meal prep, maybe I will, but now I have to, because I'm away, and there's no one's going to do it for me. And that's why it's so important, getting that full responsibility as a young man. And I'm going to say that not because it doesn't apply to young women necessarily, but because I'm a young man myself, and I feel like every young man needs to do this. And like I said, it's not meaning young women don't have to do it, but this channel is for young men because I'm a young man, and I can only really tell you my experience as a young man. I don't know what it's like to be a young woman, so I can make sort of speculations based on what I see, but the actual experience, I don't know. But that's why, as a young man, you need to be responsible. You have to have that sense of responsibility, that masculine sort of, I sort myself out, I look after myself. That should be something that we all aim for. I want to kind of repay my parents for all that they've done for me. It's something I've thought about a lot over the last few years, just how much they've sacrificed for me to have the life that I do, and for me to actually afford the time to think about self-improvement and to discover self-improvement. A lot of people don't get that. So if you are living at home, do use the advantage while you can, knowing that ultimately you need to get out, and it's something you should speak to your parents about. Say, look, I'm going to be, like for my situation, I moved back. I've been back about a year and a half maybe. So I said, look, I'm going to do this for the next year, and then once this period of my life's over where I just finished the academy stuff with my rugby, I'm going to try and move out. I'm going to try and get somewhere, try and start taking more responsibility on myself, and I'm very happy about it. So that's the lesson for this video. Take that responsibility. Try and start thinking about, I need to get out of my parents' house, because you just need to experience that. You need to go through the trenches in a sense. See you guys in the next video.